welcome back to Endo Unfiltered. My name is Erica, and I'm here sharing my journey living with endometriosis. Today, I'd like to share about my second surgery and also a nerve block procedure that I had done. After my first surgery, the ablation procedure, I went through the worst 5 months of my life. The pain only worsened instead of relief, it just kept getting worse. I tried to push through, but after months of suffering, and with all the research I did, and which I spoke about in my last video, I decided that a second surgery for wide excision was most likely in my future. So I proceeded to look for a specialist once again in my area that could do this procedure. Sadly, this seems to be the fate of a lot of us with endo. Let me just say that realization was terrifying. The thought of another surgery, another recovery, it was just overwhelming. But I was desperate for relief. And so my search for an excision specialist in my area was on. I will say though, I felt so much more empowered going into this search and just, the knowledge that I had for the treatment that I felt was the proper treatment for me, and all of the guidance I got from the support groups and forums that I was a part of. I just felt like I was within this community that was really looking out for me. After what seemed like endless searching, I finally found an excision doctor in Los Angeles. I was so excited. It was after hours, so I left a message about my interest in scheduling an appointment, and I will never forget the day I got a call back. It had been such a long and exhausting day. I, at the time, worked in retail in Beverly Hills, and you know how difficult it is to stand for 8 hours when you have endometriosis. I mean, you end the day worse off than when you got there, pain in your whole body. And so I was just exhausted and honestly ready for some good news. So I called the office back and was feeling really hopeful. The earliest appointment was 2 months away, but I didn't care. I had her put me down for it, and I was ready to wait. Then the bomb dropped. She told me that this particular doctor did not accept my insurance and did not accept any insurance for that matter. This was a cash-only physician. And I just said, okay, it's not like we haven't paid cash before. And since this is the treatment I need, of course, I was ready to just go forward. If only it were that easy. Then she proceeded to tell me that it was $1,000 just for the initial consult. And on top of that, the surgery for wide excision with this specific specialist, $100,000. Who can afford that? I was devastated. This was infuriating. I couldn't believe. This woman is a well-renowned doctor in LA. She wrote a book on how, she specializes in helping women with endometriosis. I couldn't understand why someone with all this knowledge would not accept insurance and be cash only. With her expertise, I just felt so angry. Why wouldn't she want to accept insurance? Why would she only take cash? And then it dawned on me. Maybe she's the endo specialist for the stars only. I hung up, pulled over, and just cried. Honestly, it felt like all hope was gone, and I was never going to be out of pain. After a couple days of sadness and basically feeling completely defeated, I realized I had to keep going. I had to keep searching. I can't quit. I can't quit for myself, and I can't quit for all of the Endo sisters, that this community that I'm a part of. It's like I was on a mission for everyone. I had to help us. So I kept going. I did end up finding a doctor who took my insurance. But of course, another hurdle, he was completely booked and not accepting any patients. Thankfully, this particular physician had a colleague just as experienced as himself, and she had openings. I scheduled an appointment at her earliest appointment available, and I'll never forget that appointment. I sat in her office and basically just cried. I bawled my eyes out, actually. And she sat there with me for a while and just listened. I didn't feel rushed. I felt heard. By the end of my appointment, we scheduled my surgery, and for the first time in months, I had a glimmer of hope. Before my surgery, she recommended a nerve block procedure with her pain management doctor to hopefully alleviate some of the pelvic pain I was going through. This was a whole nother procedure in itself. I was put out for it. They insert a needle into your back and basically like numb the nerves in that area, the pain receptors that send signals to your brain. It basically like numbs that. Sadly, it didn't bring me any relief. If anything, it caused more pain in my back, hips, and thigh area. And the ride home from that procedure was excruciating. Every bump was like just so much pain. I know there's probably some of you who have had relief from this, so I don't, want to deter anyone from trying everything possible to help with their pain. I started to feel like this was my fate, like I would forever be in pain. But I had done so much work up until this point. And so, despite my worry and anxiety, I still had hope. I live off of it. And besides, I'm a warrior. I can't stop now. So, on July 22nd, 2019, I went in for wide excision surgery. It was a big one. I had a total hysterectomy. My cervix was removed. My appendix was removed. All endometriosis that was found in the surrounding areas, including on my bowels, was excised. And I donated all of my tissue and organs that were removed to Women's Cancer and Endometriosis Research Program at Cedars-Sinai. When I woke up, I felt extremely hopeful. However, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this will not be my last surgery. Thank you for listening. I'd love to hear your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going and create awareness for this disease. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.